So, what does Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman and Ray Liotta have in common? Other being great actors. You all got a big start on Another World soap opera. So, today, the star of Legends of the Fall 7 and all the great movies since the mid 1990s, where he's become a mega superstar, we're going to talk about Brad Pitt's early career, mostly on television, which would surprise a lot of people because he was on so many different TV episodic and movies that basically he wasn't considered as handsome as he is now. He kind of played down his looks. Now, William Bradley Pitt, born December 1863 in Shawnee, Oklahoma, to William Alvin Pitt, the proprietor of a trucking company, and Jane Etta, near Hill House, a school counselor. The family soon moved to Springfield, Missouri, where he lived with his younger siblings, Doug and Julie. Born into a conservative Christian household, he was raised as Southern Baptist and later oscillated between agnosticism and atheism. He later reconciled his belief in spirituality. He described Springfield as Mark Twain country, Jesse James country, having grown up with a lot of hills and a lot of lakes. Now, when he attended Kickapoo High School, where he was a member of the golf, swimming, and tennis teams, he participated in his school's key and forensic clubs, in school debates, and in musicals. Following his graduation from high school, he enrolled in the University of Missouri in 1982, majoring in journalism with a focus on advertising. As graduation approached, Pitt did not feel ready to settle down. He loved films, a portal in different worlds for me, and since films were not made in Missouri, he decided to go where they were made. 2 weeks short of completing the coursework for the degree, he left the university and moved to LA, where he took acting lessons and worked odd jobs. He has named Gary Oldman, Sean Penn, and Mickey Rourke as his early acting heroes. Now, ironically, from 1987 to 93, he was showing up every place. While struggling to establish himself in LA, he took lessons from acting coach Roy London. His acting career began in 1987 with numerous uncredited parts in the films No Way Out, No Man's Land, and Less Than Zero. Now, in May 1987, he made his TV debut in a 2-episode role on Another World, the big NBC soap at the time. In November of the same year, Pitt had a guest appearance on the CBS sitcom Trial and Error and the ABC sitcom Growing Pains. He appeared in 4 episodes of Dallas between December 1987 and February 1988 as Randy, the boyfriend of Jenna Wade's daughter Charlotte, played by Shailene McCall. And he did show up in an episode of Hollywood Squares, I know that. Now, later in 1988, Pitt made a guest appearance in the Fox police drama 21 Jump Street. In the same year, the Yugoslavian U.S. co-production The Dark Side of the Sun was his first leading role, starring as a young American taken by his family to the Adriatic to find a remedy for a skin condition. The film was shelved at the outbreak of the Croatian War of Independence and was not released until 10 years later. Now, Pitt made 2 motion picture appearances in 1999, first in a supporting role in the comedy Happy Together, and the second a featured role in the horror film Cutting Class, the first of Pitt's films to reach theaters. He also made guest appearances on the TV series Headed Class, Freddy's Nightmares, 30-something, and for a second time, Growing Pains. Now, Pitt was eventually cast as Billy Catton, a drug addict who takes advantage of a young runaway, played by future girlfriend Juliette Lewis, in a 1990 NBC TV movie Too Young to Die, the story of an abused teenager sentenced to death for a murder. Ken Tucker of EW wrote, Pitt is a magnificent slimeball as her hoodie boyfriend, looking and sounding like a malevolent John Cougar Mellencamp. He's really scary. Now, the same year, he co-starred in 6 episodes of the short-lived Fox drama Glory Days and took a supporting role in the HBO TV film The Image. His next appearance came in the 1991 film Across the Tracks. Pitt portrayed Joe Maloney, a high school runner with a criminal brother, played by all people Ricky Schroeder. The same year, he was featured in a Levi's Jeans TV commercial based around the song 20th Century Boy, I Want to Be Your Toy, where he played in the background. Now, after years of supporting roles in film and frequent TV guest appearances, he got his big break and attracted wider recognition in his supporting role in Ridley Scott's 1991 road film Thelma, Louise. He played J.D., a small-time criminal who befriends Thelma, played by Gina Davis. His love scene with Davis has been cited as the event that defined Pitt as a sex symbol. After Thelma Louise, he starred in the underrated 1991 film Johnny Suede, a low-budget picture about an aspiring rock star. And in 1992 live-action animated fantasy film Cool World, although neither furthered his career, having poor reviews and a box office performance. Now, Pitt eventually took on a role of Paul McLean in a 1992 biopic, A River Runs Through It, directed by the great Robert Redford. His portrayal of the character was described by People's Janet Mock as a career-making performance, proving that Pitt could be more than a cowboy-hatted hunk. He was admitted to feeling under pressure while making the film, and though it was not of his weakest performances, it's so weird that it ended up being the one I got the most attention for. Pitt believed that he benefited from working with such a talented cast and crew. He compared working with Redford to playing tennis with a superior player, saying when you play with somebody better than you, your game gets better. Now, in 1993, Pitt reunited with Juliette Lewis for the road film California. He played Early Grace, a serial killer, the abusive husband of Lewis's character, in a performance described by Peter Travers, a Rolling Stone, as outstanding, all boys charm, and a short snort that exudes pure menace. Pitt also garnered attention for a brief appearance in a cult hit True Romance as a heavy stoner named Floyd, providing comic relief to the action film. Now, he capped the year by winning a Show West Award for Male Star of the Year. And of course, Interview with the Vampire, Legends of the Fall came up, and many nominations. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Brad Pitt, in the early performances, I don't know if they were diminishing his looks, but there's the episode of Growing Pains where Carol Seaver, the whole kit and caboodle. I don't know who he played on Head of the Class, but if anybody can tell me who that was, if it was just a background character or somebody who was chasing the two main the girls in the show. Now, Brad, like Tom Cruise, did the same thing. He's path to stardom. He did a lot of supporting roles, even in Canadian movies, because Tom Cruise had a connection to Canada for a short while. But you got to all start someplace. But I thought for sure, my father, when he saw him at Dallas, he said, this guy's going places. Like, there's Brad Pitt at the time, there was a little bit of aspects. You look at Leonardo DiCaprio, you look at Kurt Russell, you look at Jeff Bridges. He had that kind of quality that if you watch him for the first time and saying, I'd like to see him in something good, because he was appearing a lot of crap. Now, The Time in Another World, I'm not exactly sure who casted him for that role, but Another World by the late 1980s was rejigging the Frame family. But we remember when the show went to 90 minutes and when Morgan Freeman and Ray Liotta was on, that drew a lot of interest. And Mark Hamill was on Another World as well. So it's interesting to go a springboard. He'd been perfect for a soap opera because we know Christopher Reeve and David Hasselhoff and other key actors started on soaps. Tom Selleck as well. You look at Ryan O'Neal and Peyton Place. But it's weird because when Brad Pitt started getting big, even my aunt said, that's the guy from Another World. And that was only a decade before. And, he's a good fit on Dallas as well. So that's the story of the early roles of Brad Pitt, where he was a superstar, overnight superstar. It took 10 years, but he made it. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you're doing here with our Brad Pitt and other key entertainment tribute podcasts, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share.